This is W2FJH. We'll be starting the STNY digital voice net here in just about 5 minutes. We do have NetLogger up and running. For those folks that were checking early through NetLogger, NetLogger can be found at netlogger.org. We also do have Google Meet up and running. So if you wish to join us on Google Meet, you can find the link at stnydmr.net. So we'll see you folks in just about 5 minutes, sir. This is W2FJH. This is W2FJH bringing up the STNY digital voice net on Brand Master Talk Group 31367, Wires X Room 83721, and live stream to Google Meet and YouTube. The primary purpose of the STNY digital voice net is to help foster an active digital voice community in the southern tier of New York and to provide a forum for those that are interested or have questions regarding various digital voice topics. While this net is primarily for the southern tier, all stations are more than welcome to check in. This net meets weekly on Sundays at 7 p.m. For more information about this net, please visit stnydmr.net. This net will prioritize short-time, mobile, in-and-out, or emergency power stations. We currently do have 2 stations checked in through NetLogger, so the net would like to recognize K3BYC Carlton and N2 NRA Cliff. All right, when checking in, please give your call sign, your name, and your location. So let's take a standby. For any stations that are short-time, mobile, in-and-out, or emergency power, please call now.
KV3AJN, Anna, Beaver County, short time, no comment.
right, and we had KD3, AJ, and Anna, who's going to be a short time this evening. All right, let's open up for any other stations that would like to join this evening. Please call now.
M4 UJP Kilo Mike 4 Uniform Juliet Papa John St. George Island, Florida in the Panhandle. Over.
November 3 Delta, Quebec Delta, Ray, Beaver, Pennsylvania.
All right, we also have KM4 UJP John and N3 DQD Ray. Were there any other stations to join this evening? Please call now.
N2 NCB Paul Owego, New York.
This is W2FJH N30JP, Chautauqua County.
All right, and we also have N2 NCB Paul, NE2W Ed, and N3 OJP Mick. All right, before we get to announcements or anything, let's hit our short time station. So KD3, AJ, and Anna, how was your week there? And just by the way, the net topic, if you did want to comment on it, last week we talked about memorable contacts, the long distance, etc. This week we were talking about, have you had any bizarre or strange contacts? Maybe ones that you realize you might want to end the QSO a little bit early. So this one was donated by Mal N2 QFD. He did let me know that he was ill this evening and wouldn't be able to join the net. But maybe next week he'll share his one of his good examples that he had for this topic. So, KD3, AJ, and Anna, how was your week there?
Hi, Frank and Annette from KD3AJN. Well, my week was good, just busy as usual. I spent the weekend with my grandchildren and spoiled them a little bit. And I have not had any strange QSOs. I haven't been a ham that long, so I'm sure I'll find one eventually. But that's all I have. Have a good week. KD3AJN.
Hey, very good, Anna. And yeah, that's what I hear grandchildren are for, is to spoil them. So exactly right. All right, let's kick things off with announcements. If there's any announcements for the net this evening, please call now. All right, nothing heard there. I did have two quick announcements for myself. One, when I was posting the details about this net, I realized that it was May 4th. So for all you Star Wars fans out there, May the 4th be with you. And additionally, I just changed I was having some problems. I did have a custom email address for my ham email, and I've been having some problems with it here and there, and I just decided to finally switch over to Gmail. So I did update my QRZ, but for anybody out there listening that might have my email, if you wanted to update my contact, as it is frank.w2fjh@gmail.com. Yeah, I just figured it'd be easier that way. This way I don't miss any emails or have any problems trying to send out an email instead of having a custom domain email address. And I would put in my comments there, but I figured in the announcements would be an appropriate spot to put since I'm net control. So, all right, moving on for questions. If there's any questions for the net this evening, please call now. All right, nothing heard there either. So we will move in for comments. Just to reiterate again, our net topic this evening is we are talking about any strange or bizarre contacts you might have had. So top of my list is K3BYC Carlton. How was your week?
This is K3BYC, Carlton from Darlington, Maryland. Thank you, Frank, for taking the net. Good evening to everyone who's checked in. Been nice weather here. We're getting some rain, not enough, but hopefully we'll get a little bit more. As for the net topic, well, I probably have faced a couple of situations. I've only been a hand like 10 years, but I know when I first got into a club, uh, I know one person who was getting on our club repeater, intoxicated, not always being obvious at the beginning, and then as maybe conversation went on, things started getting more bizarre. It was like time for the exit, and unfortunately, we had some operators who were too good-natured and just continued to let that go on and sort of enable it for things to get more bizarre and bizarre and get the repeater owner in trouble. So that's been, I guess, one of the worst that I've tried to back away from. Uh, I'm going to reset. Another situation, I guess, more recent is to be on, even on DMR, and to realize that the person on the other end is not licensed or they're using a fake ID on DMR. We did have one got in on Maryland statewide net a couple years ago using someone's ID. It was from we know using a Midwestern ID, but we believe that they were in the area. So that was very it was hard getting them off the air. So we just tried to avoid that and let the owners take care of that. Those are a couple of situations that I have faced where I say, "Want to do an about face and jump out there." That's all I've had there. So anyway, everybody have a great week. This is K3BYC. Back to the control.
Hey, very good there, Carlton. And yeah, with the rain, actually my weekend's plans was to go finally mow the lawn, but the rain around here has made other plans for me there this weekend. And yeah, I could definitely see drinking and being on the air don't mix well. I'm all for grabbing a cup of coffee or a drink with any of the local hams. But definitely not drinking and then getting on the air. It's I've also been a member of a few gun clubs, and yeah, you go out skeet shooting first and everything, then you come back to the club and you have a drink or something. But you don't have that in the reverse order. So all right, next on my list is N2NRA Cliff. How was your week?
This is N2NRA Cliff. Yeah, Frank thanks for taking over the dead and everybody on the net this evening. Rain, and more rain. Looks like thunderstorms called for tomorrow, and most of the week's going to be wet. A dental appointment tomorrow and get some groceries afterwards. The most bizarre was a friend of mine, WV3M, I came across, was talking to a fellow on 80 meters about UFOs, and I guess he was trying to make a believer out of him, and Joe there, WV3M, was making fun of him. That's about it. So this is N200 back to net control.
Hey, thanks for Cliff, and yeah, that's a good one too. Hey, to each their own. Some people, some people believe Bigfoot's real or a Loch Ness monster. There's, all sorts of things. All right, KD3 AJ and Anna has checked out already, so moving on to KM4 UJP. John, how was your week?
Thank you, sir. My week was fine. It's pretty. We've kind of moved into summer down here in the Panhandle. It's been in the high 70s and breezy every day. We got a little rain last night. We could use some more, but anyway, that's fine. But the only weird thing that I've ever encountered is occasionally I'll turn on 7200 just to torture myself. Hi, back to net.
Okay, thanks, sir, John. Yeah, I do recall a few other hams said, if you want to have a very interesting conversation or give a listen to this frequency. And yeah, I'm guessing that's at 7200. It seems like a lot of people are attracted to or something. And yeah, I'll have to get on to I don't have a HF rig myself or anything, but I'll have to go on to Kiwi SDR or something and give a listen to that at some point. I don't know what's on there. I've heard it a few times over now. So all right, moving down the list to N3DQD. Ray, how was your week?
Yeah, W2FJH from M3DQD. Well, I had a good week. Uh, Always have plenty to do. This upcoming week is going to be a really busy week. We didn't have so many events this past week, but the next week we have things pretty much every day, including another day of fundraising for the Lions Club. When it comes to bizarre contacts, I've had the usual in talks that you try to get away from, as Carlton had mentioned. But I once heard um, 75 meters, and apparently this situation on 40 now that exists. I've heard a lot of chatter about it, but I don't operate on the HF bands anymore. In fact, I haven't had an HF rig for 35 years. But at any rate, I often heard those bands described as a psychologist's dream, and we'll leave that to your imagination. And what else? Oh, just wanted to thank Mick. They sent me an email yesterday because Anna had checked into the East Coast Reflector, and so he sent us an email about that to share their magazine and all. I thought that was very kind. Back to net. This is N3DQD.
Hey, very good there, Ray. And yeah, thanks for all you do with the Lions Club too. I had talked with our local Lions Club people there, and they were very very nice people and everything, but just kind of the commitment and everything that kind of goes along with it. There, we were thinking about becoming members, but we just didn't have the time. That was even before my daughter was around, and yeah, my time is very limited anymore. So, but I just want to thank you for all that you do with them, and yeah, Nick and 3OJP is coming up soon on our list here. So, all right, we'll keep on going on the list. Actually, before I get to my next station, it's been about 15 minutes here. Let me give a quick standby for any additional stations. This is W2FJH with the STNY Digital Voice Net. Please call now.
W2 KDC. This is Dennis in Dansville.
This is Kilo Charlie 3 Whiskey Victor X-Ray. Scott from Sayre. Wasn't sure if you got me the first time I checked in.
All right, and we have W2 and KDC Dennis. And no, Scott, I did not pick up the first time. So we also do have KC3 Whiskey Victor X-Ray Scott. So, all right, moving on down the list, we have N2NCB Paul. How was your week?
Logan, Frank, and all into NCB here. Boy, it's good to hear all these voices again. Oh, I've been off the air for a bit. Um, we were invited down to Fort Eustis in Virginia back in March because one of our son-in-laws was at a ceremony to promote him to lieutenant colonel, and so we spent some time down there, of course. And one of our grandsons, Ben, plays a lot of soccer, so we had a chance to uh, see one of his games. And we got back, and the internet wasn't working. Now, I'm not going to bore you with all the details, but it's been since then until Friday that we got the internet back and working. It was somewhat working, but not totally. But finally figured out what the cause was, and as soon as that was disengaged, everything was back to normal. So we're getting stuff back to normal that wasn't working. And as far as the rest of the week goes, yeah, it was just nothing spectacular, nothing to write home about, that kind of deal. And as far as conversations, I don't think I've had one. Uh, I became a ham in July of '91, and even on the nets that I do, I don't think there was a strange conversation or HF anywhere. So if it did, it didn't sink in. Let's put it that way. Or I had to make room on the hard drive for other things. And with that, I'll turn it back to you, Frank. Take care, all. Into NCV.
Hey, very good there, Paul, and glad to hear you back online here again and everything. So, yeah, and that's really good. No strange QSOs for that long. So, good. And tell them congratulations on the promotion to lieutenant there. It's good you got to see the grandson play some soccer and everything down there. So, sounds like you had a other than the internet out, it sounds like you had a good time. So, all right. Next on my list is NE2W. Ed, how was your week?
Hey, good evening, Frank, and everybody on the net this evening. Kind of back to normal after the Easter holiday there with the schools, and our club was very busy in April. Uh, so much going on with our regular meetings, and we've especially busy lately giving exams to new hams. Got a large number of new hams joined in the last couple months, thanks to a class they had with about 26 people in it. So I've been updating the newsletter to cover the events that happened just last week. Our group got invited down to the University of Scranton for their open house on Thursday, the 24th, an all-day event. Uh, Tour of the station, a nice lunch at it was a train station that had Marconi Tower back in the day, like the Marconi Tower we have here in Binghamton, that the club operated K2M from on Saturday to celebrate Marconi Day. So I'm putting all this together with pictures and whatnot for the newsletter. The newsletter is available on our webpage, w2ow.org, under Verifax. This is the May issue. It won't be out for a couple days yet, but that's where you can find it. Other than that, not too much going on. The Yankees were doing great, and all of a sudden they seem like they're in a slump. Back to you, Frank. This is NE2W. Oh, and I don't remember a weird conversation, by the way. Back to you.
Hey, very good there, Ed. And yeah, it sounds like you had a very busy month coming up. I'm glad you got to go down to the University of Scranton. And yeah, thanks again for all that you do with the Verifax. I do find them. I glance over them and everything, and I find you're very well organized and have a lot of information out there. So thanks again for always putting out those Verifax. And just as a side note, Ed, I did you were talking about the aquarium down there in Scranton as well, and I was just taking a peek at that and maybe have plans this summer to go down there with Lillian and the wife, and the wife actually said she might like to go to an aquarium soon, and it made me think that you actually mentioned that. so, so all right, next on my list is N3OJP. Mick, how was your week?
Oh, well, good evening, Frank. Everybody on this evening's net. Good to hear everybody. Oh, I got to apologize, Frank. I haven't gotten back to you with that solid state drive, trying to figure that out. I've just been too busy. There's too much going on with grandson soccer. And I finished my wife's, she wanted a 24-foot square screened in greenhouse for her above ground flower beds. She's tired of making deer salads, as she calls it. So the weather in April was kind of tough to work, but finally got that all done last week. And I got up here in western New York. I hadn't been here a while, and of course, there's quite a bit to do. I got a minor leak in the roof I got to take care of. So just a little bit busy right now, Frank, but I'm still going to tackle getting that drive to be the boot up drive. And Ray and Anna, yeah, the East Coast Reflector. There's a lot going on there. That's why I sent you that link. And they've got quite a bit of activity. In fact, where I'm located in western New York, I'm about 25 miles from Dunkirk. And I can get into the East Coast repeater via 2 meters. They got a pretty good antenna over there in Arkwright. I once had a new ham got his general. He asked me, what's best for etiquette and how do you make contacts? And I says, 7200 was mentioned a couple times there, and I says, well, let's make the conversation short. Listen to 7200 and you'll find out what not to do. So we had a little bit of a laugh. But I used to get on in the morning. There was a fellow out of Germany on 17 meters, and I contacted him, and then he gave me this lecture one time. He said, oh, you must be on a wire because the way my signal, wasn't real strong. And the tone was, well, you're not a real ham unless you get a hex beam or some kind of exotic antenna. So I got this big lecture, and I just didn't like the tone of it. So, needless to say, not too many QSOs there. But yesterday, let me get a quick break here, Frank. Reiner, N2PEZ with the AirAss Club down in Elmira, sent me a note about, there was a ham fest at the Antique Wireless Museum in West Bloomfield, just south of Rochester. And I always wanted to go to the museum, and I'd be with my wife. We're traveling through the area, and no, she's not interested in that. So anyway, I decided to go. And unfortunately for the ham fest, the flea market, it was just raining. I felt bad for the guys. They couldn't really do anything. I mean, it was windy and the rain. They did have a building where they were going to auction off a lot of the old equipment, all kinds of old books. I did pick up one, and it was about DeForest is his name. I guess he invented the vacuum tube. And the book was written in 1930. It's about his life. So I'm going to go through that. Anyway, the museum, if you've never been there, it's a museum. I mean, there's 10,000 square feet. And it's not impressive from the road, but once you get inside, just the old AM/FM radios, the Collins Heathkit. They've got a couple transmitters there from broadcast stations that are no longer used. No, they're tubes, and they got quite a setup. They even have a display of the Titanic um, radio room. You know, it's a replica. All kinds of things. Microphones that were used at NBC and ABC. In fact, they had the little xylophone where it made the NBC noise, and just fascinating. Edison phonograph. So I was there for a couple hours. I really enjoyed it, and the place is spotless, well organized. The volunteers go around and explain things to you. I was kind of fascinated with the teletype machines, I should say, and they even had a Hellschreiber decoder there too. So, and on the submarines the Germans use the Enigma is probably the best way to put it. So, yeah, that was a pretty good trip yesterday. So, even though it rained. Frank, I'll turn it back to you, and I promise I'll get back to you when I dig into this computer a little bit more. W2FJH N30JP.
Hey, Mick, real quick, where was this museum and what was the name of it?
Frank, it's called the Antique Wireless Museum. They actually listed as Rochester, but it's actually on routes 5 and 20 where they merge, and the intersection of routes 444. I think the town is Bloomfield, and Canandaigua is just east of it, and it's south of Rochester. But if you Google the Antique Wireless Museum, it'll come up for you, and it's worth the trip. You know, you could easily spend 3-4 hours in there browsing around, and like I say, the volunteers they just walk up to you and they start explaining things. So yeah, the Antique Wireless Museum, Frank. Back to you, N30JP.
Hey, very good. And thanks, Mick. Yeah, I was just noting that. So, in my travels this summer, if there's anything along the way, the wife doesn't really have too much interest in ham radio and all that. So, but if we were traveling somewhere else, we could probably stop by and see all that. But she might be more interested. You mentioned like the Titanic room and everything like that. So she might be a little bit more interested in it, and if she gets to see some of that. So. But all right, thanks, Nick, and yeah, good you yeah, the South State Drive, no worries. I know I have multiple furnaces running all at the same time too, so not a big deal on getting back to me there. So and good you got to see the grandson's soccer game there. Like you said, you got the soccer going on and the wife's greenhouse and everything else. So I get it. So. All right, this is W2FJH with the STNY Digital Voice Net. Let's take a quick standby to see if there's any additional stations that would like to join this evening. Please call now. All right, nothing heard there, so we will continue on down the list to W2KDC Dennis. How was your week?
Thank you, Frank. My week was fine. Nothing exciting. Not happy about the all the rain this weekend and coming up into next week, but I guess the big thing for this week was uh, I got got tired of listening on 3100 to everybody saying, I'm talking on the new M1KE. I'm talking on the new M1KE. So I finally broke down and bought one. So I'm now talking on the new M1KE. Uh, but that's about it as far as weird QSOs. I haven't really had one, but then I've only been a ham for 14 months, and I'm not on HF at any of those weird places. So, guess that's about it. So, W2 KDC, back to you, Frank. Have a great week.
Hey, very good there, Dennis. And yeah, maybe when we move in for additional comments or anything else, you may be able to give us a little bit of feedback on how you like it there. So, all right. By the way, you're sounding great. So, all right. Moving on down the list to KC3 Whiskey Victor X-ray. I'm always trying to say WVX, but I get tongue tied when I see that. So, moving on down the list to Scott. Scott, how was your week there?
This is Kilo Charlie 3, Whiskey Victor X-Ray. Yeah, that doesn't exactly roll off your tongue all that easy, but, well, week wasn't too bad. I was sick as a dog last weekend, started getting better, then ended up getting sick again this weekend, but hopefully I'm gonna get over that. As far as bizarre stuff with contacts, yeah, the 7200 is definitely seems to be a cesspool of, I don't know, I've never heard something as crazy as what goes on that frequency at night. Uh, I did catch a guy doing POTA one weekend. Uh, Made contact with him. Then I found out that him and his wife were live on Facebook. Apparently, they do it all the time. I don't remember their Facebook page. I'm gonna let this roll here. And as far as the Antique Wireless Museum, I'm part of a RAS there, and yeah, we went up there. A group of us went up last year, and it's a pretty amazing place. Yeah, you can spend hours and hours and hours there going through that place, checking everything out. There's so much stuff there. There's the big government funded radio system that they just shut down. Their one setup is in that museum. I can't, for some reason, the name of it just is lost here to me. But anyways, they also had a room downstairs at the end of the tour. They took us down where they had a bunch of radios set up. They let us play on the radios. So if you ever get a chance, definitely stop in there. It's worth the trip. This is KC3WVX. Back to the net.
Hey, very good there, Scott. And yeah, it sounds like I'll have to try to check out this place and maybe make some plans to go see it down there. Sounds like a really nice place. And yep, yeah, you're talking about POTA and being live on Facebook. I do. I mean, we are also live on YouTube, but I try to make sure that that is announced at the beginning of every net that this is being broadcasted out to YouTube as well. And really, we get maybe two or three views on a video. It's not. I think it's more or less the local people who maybe missed the net. It's not like we're going viral or anything. It's basically just for those folks that missed the net and wanted to catch up, or like Mal this evening. I know he is sick, so he might be catching the replay or something. And it was part of it, his suggested topic. So, but yeah, we at least announce that hey, we are broadcasting this out to other areas. So, all right. This is W2FJH with the STNY Digital Voice Net. I have reached the end of my list. So let's see if there's any additional stations that would like to join this evening. Please call now. All right, nothing heard there, so let's open it up for any additional stations or any stations that have checked in with additional comments, questions, or concerns. Maybe Dennis, W2KDC, can give us some feedback on how he likes the M1KE.
I just got it on Friday, so spent a little while getting it set up on Saturday. I guess I should have said this W2KDC coming back. Uh, but it's going to be kind of neat. I really, so far, I like it. Does just about every digital mode. And they just recently added All Star to it, so it's got an All Star link, so I can use this and use All Star to get onto the East Coast Reflector, uh, which we are talking about earlier. But DMR, D Star, YSF, uh, and several others that I haven't got set up yet, but I did get YSF set up, and obviously DMR. But it battery life lasts forever. They say. I haven't. I've played with it a little bit, getting it set up yesterday and today, and I still have 90% battery left. No antenna sticking up. You just have to have an internet connection. So it's handy. It won't replace my HT for when I'm doing, volunteer stuff like the Wine Glass Marathon and like that, but it definitely will make it easy just to stick in my pocket, and anytime I have a few minutes, I can play radio on DMR. W2KDC back to net, if anybody has any questions.
Hey, very good there, Dennis. And yeah, that was one of the selling points for me. I didn't pick one up yet, but that's what I was looking at. It was because I could easily put that in a bag when I'm doing some traveling around and we're going on a trip or something here or there, and this way I wouldn't have to bring a radio or a hotspot or anything like that. It's all just packaged in that, and the beauty of it is it's using hardware-based voice encoding. So it's from what I hear, a much crisper audio, everything else compared to trying to do it on your cell phone with like DroidStar or something. That's using software based voice encoding. As far as I know, the M1KE is still using it uses the AMB 3000 voice encoder chip and everything, so it should be much clearer audio and everything. But yes, we will open it up if you wouldn't mind, and we'll see if anybody has any questions or anything to ask Dennis about the M1KE.
For UJP question.
Yeah, KM4 UJP, fire away there. And Dennis, you can just respond and just pass it back to me when you guys are done.
For that, thank you, Frank. I didn't catch the name of that device. It was M1 something, but I missed that. Could you repeat that for me, please? Over.
Yes, it's made by Shark RF. These are the same people that make the open spot hotspots. Shark RF, and it's called the M as in Michael 1 Kilo X-ray or Echo M1KE. They call it the mic. So if you go to sharkrf.com, it's the first thing that pops up on their website. W2KDC, back to you, Frank.
All right, thanks. Yeah, I'll hand it back to Jonathan there in case he had any follow-up questions or anything else. So back to you, KM4UJP, W2FGH.
Thank you very kindly. Appreciate the info. KM4UJP, back in that.
All right, thanks, there, John, and thanks, Dennis. All right, W2FJH with the STNY Digital Voice Net. Let's see if there's any additional stations or any additional comments, questions, or concerns, or any other questions for Dennis. Please call now. All right, nothing heard there, so we might as well wrap things up here. I'd like to thank Carlton, Cliff, Anna, John, Ray, Paul, Ed, Mick, Dennis, and Scott for joining me this evening. We'll be returning this talk group back to normal amateur radio use. Everybody have a great and safe week there. This is W2FGH, and I'll be listening.